Today, I'm gonna show you how to create a monochromatic color to your portraits in Photoshop 2024. This video is a part of another video where I show how I completely retouched this photo. If you wanna watch the complete editing, I will link the video in the description below. Hello photographer, welcome back to my channel. If you're new here, my name is Silvia. I'm a specialist in the magazine style photography. In this channel, I talk about professional editing techniques to help you make more money with your photos. Now, let's get into the video. So now what I want to do is to start doing the color grading. And the color grading that I want to do is involving her skin tone. So the monochromatic color, the way that it works is when you choose one color and you just play with the same color, but you play with the saturation of the color, so more saturated, less saturated, or you play with the luminosity of the color, so you can have this color to be lighter, you can have this color to be darker. So this is what monochromatic is pretty much choosing one color and working with the skin of the lighting and the saturation of this color. So that's why I want to work with the brown, because it is the color of her skin. Before we start, let's just think about things that we need to change. Everything here is pretty much brown. It's almost monochromatic, kind of. But we have the lipstick. The lipstick is really away from our color palette. And another thing that I want to change is the color of the jacket. If I select here the color of the jacket, we can see that this color is not pure black. It has some coloring to the jacket that it's blue. Or we can remove the color of the jacket and have it something more like black, going towards the black. Or we can actually bring the brown tones and the brown colors to the jacket, and that's what I want to do. So what we want to do is to change this lipstick to make it the brown tones, and we also want to make the color of the jacket to be brown. So the first thing that we're going to do is to create a gradient map, and by this gradient map we are going to select the color. Let me actually hide the mask. And with this gradient map, we are gonna select a color here of her skin. And I'm gonna go to a dark spot, the darkest spot, I think, or actually any selection here. It's not selecting any color because I'm in the mask. So if I select here the property of the effect, I'm gonna be able to select the color. So here, I can select any color of the photo. So I'm just gonna select the color, a color that I kind of like from her skin. And it's going more towards the red. And I think that I actually want something a little bit more orangish. Okay, here. I'm just gonna select a dark color that it's from this selection here, from this color. And I'm gonna copy this color here, because this is the color that we are gonna be working with. I'm gonna go here to the white and I'm gonna click here. I'm gonna paste that color here. And from the color that we have, I'm just gonna choose something that's lighter and less saturated. And I'm gonna hit OK. And now I'm gonna change this mask here. Actually, I'm gonna go back with the color. And this is the color that we have. Right now, our photo is monochromatic. There is one color and the only difference is pretty much the luminosity of the color. So I'm gonna go here and I'm just gonna adjust this color and see if that's the color that I want. I think that more like here. And now I'm just gonna create other points for the color and play with the saturation and with the luminance of the color. So right now I want something kind of still dark, not as saturated, but with more light. I'm gonna choose another one here, the middle tones, and I'm just gonna make something a little bit more saturated, not too much, but just to bring some color to the photo. I'm gonna hit OK, and I'm gonna adjust this one here. Actually, I'm just gonna make it a little bit lighter to have some contrast. I'm gonna make this a little bit more here, and I'm just adjusting a little bit more the luminosity and the contrast of the photo, but I don't think it will matter because we are gonna change the blending mode of this layer. So actually, let's say that this is good, and we are gonna change the blending mode from normal to color, and the luminosity doesn't really matter as much. So here's the before and after. This is a monochromatic photo, but of course that we don't want to live like this. And I also want the real color of the accessories in this photo. So what we are going to do is just go opacity 0 and slightly just bring up the opacity. And I think that 40 is pretty good. I'm gonna do 35. 35, it's a good, yeah, it's a good color for us. I think that this is really looking pretty good. Another thing that I'm gonna do, I'm gonna go with opacity 100 and I'm gonna remove this coloring from the accessories. So I'm gonna come here and I'm just gonna remove this coloring from the accessories. And one thing that's happening is that because we have this warm tone and we are removing the color from the accessories here, it seems like the accessories has a little bit of this blue kind of more cyan color, which don't, because we already removed that. But let's just remove this from here as well. And now it's looking that it has a little bit more bluish. I think you can notice what I'm talking about. So let's see the before and after. Another thing that I wanted to remove is from the eye, but I'm gonna lower the opacity and I'm just gonna remove a little bit. Otherwise it's gonna have that feeling that it has some bluish tones to the eyes as well. So here's the before and after, and I think that's looking pretty good. I'm gonna put this, I'm gonna do here, I'm gonna put this in a folder and I'm gonna name it color grading. Okay, now what we wanna do is to change the color of the lipstick. So I'm gonna get close here, make a rough selection of the lipstick, of the lips, pretty much. And let me just remove this part. I'm gonna remove the teeth. It's okay if it's not perfect. We're gonna adjust that later with the brush. And I'm gonna go to, I'm not gonna use hue saturation. I'm actually gonna go to solid colored. And I'm gonna choose the color here from her skin. And I think that I'm gonna choose something dark, like this, yeah. Yeah, I like that one. So I'm gonna hit okay. And we are gonna choose the blending mode of the layer to color. And now we have the color of the same color, so it's getting very monochromatic. I'm gonna go back to color and you can try to adjust a little bit more to see if there is anything that you like best. I don't like this one. I feel like it's getting way too saturated and now it's losing the idea for our photo here. I think where it was actually pretty good, so I'm gonna hit okay. And this is the lips. This is like color overall. And I'm gonna adjust now the selection for the lips. So I'm gonna go with the brush. I'm gonna have, I think 40% is good. And I'm just gonna go and have it here selected. I'm gonna add the areas that are still a little bit pinkish, that we can see the color here, and slightly I'm just gonna make this a little bit better here. And just take your time to do this part. I think this is good. Now I'm gonna do the inside of her lip. And one thing that we can do as well is to remove any of this coloring from the inside here. And if you see the pink coming back, like how it's happening, I just go to the edges again and slightly I just adjust a little bit. And work with the opacity because it's gonna help a lot to blend well the color. And I think that this is pretty good. We got it, so let's zoom out, and that's the color of the lipstick. And now I want to change the color of the jacket as well. I want to do something brown, so I'm just gonna make a selection here, and I'm gonna go to hue and saturation. I'm gonna hit colorize, and it's pretty much on the same already tone of our color. So let me just make this a little bit going towards the orangish. I think this is good. I am gonna make this a little bit lighter so I can see the color. I'm not as saturated. I'm gonna leave it like this. Let me just adjust. I think that here is looking more of the color of our photography in general. So I'm gonna hit OK. Now I lost some contrast in the jacket, so it's looking a little bit weird. Let me just rename this as jacket, and now we are gonna create a curve layer, and I'm gonna do here jacket contrast, and I'm gonna put this layer just to be applied in the layer below. So I'm gonna press this option here, and I'm gonna create a little bit more contrast to this jacket. But my mask is in black, so let's put it white. Okay, there we go. So I think here's good. Just gonna bring a little bit up. A small S curve. I don't want to do too much because the rest of my photo doesn't have as much contrast. So I need to have the contrast to be overall the same in the photo. So I think that this is good. It looks more realistic. And I'm gonna just go lower just a little bit, I think 80 with this layer. And here's the before and after of our color grading, and it's looking pretty good. It's very monochromatic. So before and after, this is looking pretty good. Another thing that I wanna do now is to play a little bit with the lighting of our photo and to bring more contrast to it. Click the like buttons if you like the results. And again, if you want to watch the complete editing for this photo, you can click here on the screen or click the link on the description below. Remember to subscribe to my channel if you're not yet. I post new videos every week. For now, this is everything. I hope this video was really helpful for you. Until next time.